Google about the science and technology in modern ages. So, the modern ages, the modern era includes the early periods called the early modern period, which lasted from 1500 present. The modern period covers human history from the creation of a more global network to present day. So, in the early period, in the modern period, the Renaissance is a period in the history of Europe beginning in about 1300 to 1600 and the following the medieval period, and this is the Renaissance. So in France, the word meaning to say rebirth. So in the scientific revolution was the emergence of modern science during the early modern period, when develops in mathematics, physics, astronomy, biology, including the human anatomy, and chemistry transforms societal views about nature that unfolded in Europe between roughly 1550 and 1700. The scientific revolution began in Europe toward the end of the Renaissance period and continued through the late 18th century, influencing the intellectual social movement known as the Enlightenment. So, in the age of the Enlightenment period of the modern era of philosophy corresponds roughly to the 18th century or in 1700. In general terms, the Enlightenment was an intellectual movement developed mainly in France, Britain, and Germany, which advocate freedom, democracy, and reason as the primary values of society. So here are the famous scientists during the scientific revolution. So we just tackle about the scientific revolution later. So in Galileo, father of the modern astronomy and the father of modern physics, Albert Einstein called him father of modern science. So Nicholas Copernicus, heliocentric theory, the word helios in Greek means sun. So heliocentric means that the sun is the center, and a heliocentric system is one in which the planets revolve around a fixed sun. So thus Mercury, Venus, the Earth, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn all revolve around the sun. The moon is the only celestial sphere in the system which revolves around the Earth, and together with it around the sun. So Johannes Kepler, three laws of planetary motion. One is that all planet moves about the sun in elliptical orbit, having the sun as one of the foci. So 2. A radius vector joining any planet to the sun sweeps out equal areas in equal length of time. So number 3. The squares of the sidereal periods of revolution of the planets are directly proportional to the cubes of their mean distance from the sun. So by Sir Isaac Newton, laws of motion. And number 1, every object in a state of uniform motion tends to remain in that state of motion unless an external force is applied to it. Law of inertia. Number 2, the relationship between an object's mass and acceleration and the applied force is F equal ma. So acceleration and force are vectors, as indicated by the symbols being displayed in slot. So let's watch the short videos about it is about the scientific revolution. So, what's that?
When they say necessity is the mother of invention, keep in mind some ideas are better than others. The world saw an explosion of new ideas in the 17th century. European thinkers challenged conventional thought based on traditional authority and mysticism. A new wave of examination changed the way people looked at their world. The scientific revolution was underway. Logic and reason replaced faith and age-old beliefs. Such a rational and methodical approach, still used today, is known as the scientific method. New ideas yielded new knowledge found through observation, hypothesis, and experimentation. At the forefront of scientific discovery was the astronomer Copernicus. He held that the sun, not the earth, was the center of the universe. Galileo expanded on Copernicus's hypotheses and perfected the telescope. And Isaac Newton studied principles of gravity and developed a new system of math called calculus to prove his theories. These scientists transformed the way we view the solar system. Revolutionary ideas like theirs often met resistance from traditional authority. Galileo was even tried for his ideas, but the efforts of those scholars put science and discovery into motion. Gradually, scientific reasoning was applied to political, economic, and social philosophy. And the late 17th and 18th centuries became known as the Age of Enlightenment. Ideas born during this time greatly influenced all of society. Even in the American colonies, these new philosophies helped shape the Declaration of Independence. The spirit of scientific inquiry was captured more than 100 years later by an American inventor, Thomas Edison. One of the world's greatest inventors, he gave us the record player, motion picture, and the electric light bulb.
All progress, all success springs from thinking. If there is one evil in the world today for which there is no excuse, it is the evil of stupidity.
He did it on his own. He wasn't given an opportunity. He created his opportunities. He had the tenacity to pursue things. He had the vision to imagine things and see where he could go and make his own opportunities.
So guys, what can you say about the modern ages? Can you compare about modern ages to ancient? Or just modern ages to middle ages? So alam ko na marami kong alam tungkol sa modern ages. So let's proceed to technology and invented in modern ages. So mga cadets, let's on board.
Great modern invention that changed the world. In past 200 years, the world has been transformed by succession of innovative new machines. Innovation and gadgets. Great modern innovation includes electric motor, telephones, computers, plastic.
Transatlantic telegram. G. Marconi developed the first long-distance wireless communication on 12 December 1901. The first telegram was sent across the Atlantic in Morse code. His invention was developed into the wireless or radio.
Light bulb, 1879. Through the 19th century, inventors produced simple electric lights. For example, Joseph Swan produced a simple electric light, but he struggled to maintain a power source and a filament soon burned out of the vacuum and the exhaust. It was Thomas Edison who made the light bulb in a practical low current vision. He used a filament based on a burned sewing thread.
The mobile phone enabled to take calls on the move. Rather than be tied to a landline, mobile phones are enabled to text messages to be sent.
Box camera, 1888. Louis Daguerre made a breakthrough with a camera which took imprints to be developed by chemicals in 188. George Eastman developed the first small Kodak box camera which made photography much more accessible to the public.